So what we have here is pretty much the same thing as what we had in the previous video, except on this one we have multiple table arrays that can be accessed. So in other words, when we're looking at each of the sales here, we got all our different reps. They're going to be making, certain percentages on their sales. But notice what I have over here. Not only do I have just the one table, like you'd expect, I have 3 tables. Now, why is that? Well, because based on the rep's seniority, how long they've been on board with the company, dictates which table they get. So if they haven't been around too long, if they sell $10,000, they get 1%. If they've been around for more than 5 years, though, 3%. And if they've been around for more than 10 years, 6%. I mean, that's quite a jump. I mean, it's an incentive to stick around, I guess, right? I mean, that's some good numbers there. So, how do we go about setting this thing up so where, with the VLOOKUP, to where it bases its decision on which table to go with using the number of years that they've been on board? So that the key to making this work is to have some sort of a indicating column that we can use in order to pick what we have over here. So what we're going to be doing, just so you know, is we're going to be working with using the if function. We're going to use the if function, and we're going to embed that or nest that in with the VLOOKUP. And the if function is going to be used to determine, when looking at column D, looking at the years they've been around, as to which table, first table, second, and third table there, we're going to be using, to get their rate. So it sounds complicated, but it's actually, if you're kind of familiar with the if, you'll pull this off. And I think once you see it, then you might see maybe using this. I will say that I came up with this for one of my students, I mean, many years ago, for where it was at, but and we actually had set up 6 tables, you guys. I mean, 6 tables to do it, and that was pretty wild. But I just kind of trimmed it down to 3 on this one. So anyway, so here's how it's going to work. We're going to type in equal. We're going to do our VL, and there's our VLOOKUP. So that's pretty easy. Now, what we're going to be looking up on, again, is going to be the dollar amount that they did, like we did before in that last video. So we'll click onto that, comma, all right? Now, this is where we normally would say, oh, yeah, we're going to go over and select the table L and M, or something like that. This is where we now put in the if function. So we'll hit the letter I, and there's if, all right? And here's how we're going to do this. So we're going to say it's if, see right where we're at there? Okay, so if what? If this cell right here, which is the number of years, if that is greater than 10, if it's greater than 10, okay, then put a comma in there, then they get to use table, this first one, let me just move it over a little bit here, the first table L and M, all right? And we'll just kind of select that range right there. And then a comma, all right? What if it isn't? Okay, well then we're going to do it again. So we'll do another if, hit the letter I again, double click, and we're going to say if that one is, let's say, greater than, let's say in this case, 5 years, right? If it's greater than 5, so we'll put 5 in there, then put a comma, then we're going to use table O and P there, right? All right, good. And then another comma. Now, if it isn't the first or second table, then it's going to be the third table, and therefore we don't really need to have any kind of if in there. So after we put that comma after the OP, then all we're going to do is just select R and S. There we go. And then once we've done that, we can close off the parenthesis. All right, we'll do it a couple times because we have 2 left parentheses, right? And, well, we're starting out with 2 on the left here. We got 3 here. So we got 4 and 5, okay? But we still have a little bit more to go here. So then So now that has figured out what table it is, right? So now comma, right? And now when it finds within whatever table it is the matching or the close to number, then we want column 2. So that's when we put our number 2 in there, right? And another comma, all right? And of course this is going to be a close or approximate match, right? So that's going to be true. So we'll double click onto that. And then we'll go ahead and put in our final right parenthesis, and that'll balance everything off. Hit the enter key, and there we go. So if you look at Lou Jack here for 27,000, he got 3.5%. Why is that? Well, he's been around for more than 5 years, so he gets this table, right? 27,000, well, the closest match would be 20,000, and that's your 3.5%. There we go. Then we can take that, copy it down, and again we can do our, like we did before, we can do our bonus. We'll say equal, and we'll take the dollar amount, and then times the asterisk, and then our 3.5%. Enter it, and then we can go ahead and copy that all the way down. And then our net will just be taking our total minus our cost minus our bonus, which we'll just type in this case, I2. Enter that in, and that's what we're left over with as a company. And then we can go ahead and close that down. So that's pretty good. So hopefully this was of some help. I know it's, I mean, I don't come across too many situations where you need to have more than one table, but I've had a number of students over the years. They find this to be very good. They can definitely use it, so hopefully you can use it too. So thanks a lot for watching the video, and take care.